about to start the game. Ball one is just a few moments away. Here we go. This one-day clash between Diamond Creek and Epping is ready to begin. No, it's not. Comes into bowl, and it's down the leg side, and it's a wide. The keeper doesn't take it cleanly, but no damage done. So there are two slips: gully, point, extra cover, mid off, who's quite straight, a short extra cover, or a short mid off. Comes into bowl, and it's a bouncer, and it's a wide. On the leg side, there is a very a wide-ish mid and close-ish mid-on, or you could call them a very straight-ish mid-wicket, and then there is a short fine leg or a deep backward square leg. Alright, comes into bowl. Oh, what a ball! What a ball! An in-swinger comes in, the batsman tries to clamp down on the Yorker, and it seemed to just miss hitting outside, just missing the line of the off stump, so just hitting outside. What a great ball. Like, you think the ball's going to miss off stump, and then it comes back at you, and you have to clamp down on it. Great piece of bowling there. Comes into bowl. Whoa! Oh, that's the great bowling. Bounce, it was a short of a length, and it kicked up off the pitch, and it caught the batsman, it got the batsman's shoulder. What a great couple of balls. In fact, despite, other than the first ball, it's been all good balls. Great stuff, great stuff. Alright, comes into bowl. And it's a thick inside edge, and it goes down to the fine leg region for 4. Well, what a risky shot there. The ball was coming in at about middle to leg, and so to play that sort of extravagant leg glancy sort of shot, really not getting you're inside the ball, not getting outside the ball in order to work it away. It was a thick inside edge. Comes into bowl. Whoa, left alone. An extra bit of bounce again. When you really dig it into this pitch, you do get a bit of kick up. And so if you can bowl it short of a length, you should be able to get some really good reward for your hard work. Unlike Coventry Oval, where it just seems quite flat and dead, the Marngrook Oval pitch does give you some rewards for good bowling. Comes into bowl, and left alone again, bouncing very high. The keeper taking it up near his upper torso, up towards the lower neck breast region, so getting a lot of good bounce. And yeah, I think the ball is moving quite a lot as well, so very good start for Diamond Creek with the ball. Comes into bowl. And oh, it's another Yorker that comes in, but it's clamped down on it. Dot ball there. It's none for 6. Alright, so it looks like it will be Elzinc to start. Bowling at the river end. Here we go. I think this is Elzinc. And way down the leg side. Wide there. Elsink into bowl. And defended off the front foot back to the bowler. Dot ball. Comes into bowl. And a half volley outside the off stump, driven to mid-off for a dot ball. Yep, so this will be Jackson Elsink bowling, right arm medium fast at the river end. Elsink into bowl, and it's down the leg side again, and another wide. Two slips, actually 3 slips. So there's a first slip, a second slip, and then there's a fourth slip. Then there is a backward point, then there is a cover point, then there is a short cover, mid-off, mid-on, Elsink into bowl. And leg glanced, and it beats the gap in the extra mid-wicket region, and mid-on comfortably runs around to collect it. There's 1 run there. The ball did not travel very far, even though it was reasonably well hit. It just sort of stopped, and it was very easy for the mid-on fielder to just dawdle around, pick it up off the ground. No chance of it going to the boundary. Elsink into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump. So now the right-hander is on strike. So 2 slips, first slip, second slip, then a fourth slip, point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, a backward square leg, and then a short cover. And driven back past the bowler, and mid-off dives and saves it. Just the 1. Very good piece of fielding there. So the short cover fielder looks to be about 5 meters from the bat, so not silly, but short. Elsink into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump. Another good over for Diamond Creek. It's 9 for no loss. So we're about to begin the 3rd over, and the score is 10 for no loss. Comes into bowl, and wide and left. The umpire decides not to call it. So it was again short of a length. The ball this time seemed away from the right-hander, and it just about went over the wide mark, and the keeper took it in front of first slip, but the umpire decided to leave it alone. Okay. Comes into bowl. And, oh, what a ball, what a ball. So, it was just short of a half volley. The batsman was committed to the front foot because it was full, but then the ball bounced extra, and the batsman had to swerve his gloves and bat away behind him in order to not catch the glove, because he realised that when the ball bounced extra than he expected, that there was no chance of driving it. So, very, very good bowling, extra bounce. And this time at the stumps and defended. So normally at Mungrook Oval, the boundaries are the fence and either the metal chicken fence or the brick wall, but they've decided to bring it in a couple of meters. So there are cones all around the ground, a couple of meters smaller than normal. All right, comes into bowl. And again defended off the front foot, the ball straight towards the stumps. I don't think that will make a big difference. The grass looks to be just about the same length as it always is. It's still very wide on the square boundaries and very short on the straight boundaries, so the actual makeup of the ground hasn't changed. Comes into bowl. And whoa, what a ball! An in-swinger, and hits on the pads, but going down the leg side. Another great ball. Getting the ball to both move in through the swing in the air, and then move away off the seam, and then getting extra bounce by getting the ball to kick off the pitch. Very good bowling we're seeing from Diamond Creek. Comes into bowl, and oh, again another very watchful 10 conservative leave there, and that's a maiden. So it's still 10 for no loss. Starting the 4th over. Elsing into bowl, and it's cut, and it goes through the 3rd man region, and the backward point fielder collects it. There was a dive by the fielder at 4th slip, or maybe you could call him a gully, but I think he's a 4th slip. But he couldn't stop it, and so the point fielder had to run around and stop it. It's pretty much the same field for both these batsmen. 3 catching behind the stumps. Oh, the keeper's gone up to the keeper has gone up to the stumps. Comes into bowl, and oh, very interesting decision. So 3 catching behind square on the offside, and then 1 catching in front of square on the offside. Comes into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump, taken there by Merritt. Very good stuff by him. 2 on the leg side, so we've got a 7-2 field, and that short fielder is a very straightish short cover. Maybe you call him a short mid-off, sorry. Comes into bowl, and left alone again. And so, obviously, the big gaps are going to be fine leg, mid-wicket, straight extra cover, and then through that backward point region. Elsing into bowl, and blocked, fielded there by the short mid-off. A bit of wind is gusting upon Mungrook Oval, but nothing that cannot be dealt with. Elsing into bowl, and left alone again, and it's a very wide ball, but the umpire decides to leave it alone. It's 11 for no loss. So this is the 5th over. Same field. Elsing into bowl. And oh! What a catch! What a ball! Incredible stuff. It was short of a length at the body, it bounced extra, it clipped the shoulder of the bat. The batsman tried to get his gloves down to take the ball to ground, but he just couldn't do it in time, and then so the ball popped up into the gully region, and the fielder at that 4th slip / gully dove downwards to take it. So a great piece of bowling there, a great piece of fielding. Awesome, awesome stuff. And so this bowler just keeps, I believe it's Saul, judging by the way the fielders were chatting about him. So great, getting great bounce off the short of a length ball, getting the ball to kick up. It's just terrific, terrific bowling. And so the first wicket has fallen for Epping. After scoring a few runs off the first couple of overs, suddenly not only are the runs hard to come by, but now they've lost the first wicket, and there have been plenty of half chances in terms of, particularly from this bowler, in terms of LBW shouts, and of course the ball bouncing up and having to swish his gloves out of the way. So they're not technically plays and misses, but they are balls where the batsman has to adjust to the situation. Alright, into bowl. And it hits on the pads, and it's an inside edge. So the appeal was cut short. A very sharp sound coming a split second before the soft sound. So the ball getting an inside edge off the bat onto the pads. Now there are 2 short fielders and 3 catchers behind the wicket. Comes into bowl. And it's pulled, and it's over the head of the square leg fielders, and it's gone down into the deep, and it's 4. Wow, that's an excellent shot there. It was short as the others, but he was able to judge the length fast enough that he could notice. He could get into position early enough, and so unlike the other batsman who had to play with a straight bat a ball that's short at the body, this time he could actually get into position, shift his feet around and play a great pull shot. Comes into bowl and left alone, very wide, but the umpire lets it go. So now there is a catching mid off and a catching extra cover. So 2, and then there's a first slip, second slip, and then there's the fielder at gully / 4th slip. Comes into bowl and lurks it onto the leg side, and there's going to be a mix-up. And no, they cannot come it together. So let's just go through that. It was on a leg stump. The batsman leg glanced it into that gap at mid-wicket and called for the run, but his non-striker called him back, and he was caught halfway down the wicket, and so he had to run back, and the fielder at that square leg, not square leg, the mid-wicket fielder had to run around and throw it, had to run about 10 metres and throw it, and he just could not get the keeper a clean throw. Alright, comes into bowl, and very wide, and this time it's called wide. So this is Saul bowling. Comes into bowl. And it's a full toss, and it's driven down to the mid-on region, and it just holds up in the grass. And they can only get 2 from that. The ball just stopped in the grass. The grass must be very thick right now. Alright, just the 2 from that. It's 18 for 1. This is the 6th over. Elsink into bowl and left alone outside the off stump. So, it's the same field. Yep, exactly the same field. Still the 3 catching behind behind square on the offside, and then the 1 catching in front of square on the offside. Right, comes into bowl and tries to play the leg glance, and again indecision. So he was on his toes. He tried to play a leg glance shot into the vacant mid-wicket region and called through, but his partner told him no, as the bowler actually this time was the one that ran around to field it and to prevent a run from being scored. Comes into bowl and left alone again outside the off stump. It's now been 8 balls. 8 consecutive dot balls from Jackson Elsink. Comes into bowl and again left outside the off stump. Because the wicketkeeper is up to the stumps, Elsink can't afford to bowl it too short or too full, and so his balls have to be pretty much short of a length to half volley, and they pretty much have to be outside the off stump in order to make sure that the keeper can see the ball. Comes into bowl. And, oh, defended. Last minute defended there. The batsman seemed to be thinking he was going to leave it, and then at the last minute he lunged forward quickly to block it. Alright, comes into bowl. And aggressively hit, and it just misses the fielder inch close. Maiden there. It's still 18 for 1. This is the 7th over, and Saul is going to be continuing to bowl from the childcare centre end. This time there's only one catcher in close on the offside, in front of square. Comes into bowl, and left alone and wide. It was short, it went past the wide mark, and then it seemed away from the right-hander, and the umpire really had no choice but to call it a wide. Saul into bowl, and left alone. This time it was a half volley wide outside the off stump, and it was left alone. So, the fielder has moved into a cover, and so now there are 3 fielders saving 1 on the offside. Point, extra cover, extra cover, and then a very straight mid-off. Comes into bowl, and leg glanced into the gap in mid-wicket, and they just dawdle through, and the ball stops before the fielder at mid-wicket even has a chance to field it. This looks like a very slow grass right now. The ball is just not travelling any distance. It's certainly not a pool table. Comes into bowl. And whoa, that's a ball. That is a ball. That is short of a length, committing the batsman to look towards playing it on the front foot, and then it kicks off the pitch. So instead of it going past the batsman at his stomach or his waist, it actually goes up to his chest, and he has to swing his arms away so that it doesn't catch the shoulder of his bat or his gloves. Another great ball from Saul. He comes into bowl, and it's in, down the leg side again. That ball just swung too much, and but that's the right area. If you want to try and get the LBW, you want the batsman to be committed to playing the leg glance shot, but you need to start at about off stump and then swing in towards middle and leg. So great stuff from Saul. He is on top of his game today. Comes into bowl, and it's a full toss, and it's driven and it's fielded there by the short cover. Okay, so for this batsman, there are 2 catchers in close. So the fielder at extra cover has moved into close, and the mid-off has also gone wider. Comes into bowl. Oh! Outside edge, goes down to the backward point, 3rd man region for 1. Another awesome over. It's 20 for 1. And left alone outside the off stump. And they've made a fielding change. The first slip has moved into a a silly mid-on. And the mid-on has moved into a wide mid-on / straight-ish mid-wicket. Comes into bowl. And it's aggressively driven, and it's gone down, straight down the ground, and the 2 fielders are chasing it, and they... No. The umpire... And it's 4. And there seems to be a bit of arguing. We'll just talk about that in a second. Comes into bowl. So the fielder dived forward to save that one from the boundary straight down the ground. The fielders at the players of Epping in the pavilion were on the right angle, so to see whether the ball went over the boundary. Comes into bowl, and it's an outside edge, and it's gone down to the third man region, and the ball will just hold up in the grass, and they only get one. So they argued that it had gone over the boundary for 4, and the fielder shrugged his shoulders to say that he couldn't notice and he didn't know. And so the umpire eventually made the call for it to be 4, and there was a little bit of an argument as though about who has the responsibility of making the call for a 4 when if the fielder doesn't know for sure, and if someone that's not currently playing, who's currently in the pavilion, thinks that they have a judgment whether they can actually make the call for that. Anyway, Elzink into bowl and left alone outside the off stump. So the sun has gone behind some clouds, and in fact there are lots of clouds now scattered across the sky of Margaret Oval. Comes into bowl, and a wild whoosh, and the keeper does not take it cleanly, and they're going to get 1 bye. They're going to go for a second. No, they do not, just the 1 bye. It's 26 for 1. So Saul to continue. This is the 9th over. Comes into bowl, and well defended there. That was the ball. That was the money ball. The in-swinging in-swinger on off stump that is going to hit the stumps on leg stump to middle stump, and the batsman had to shift his pad out of the way to make sure he didn't get hit in front. So good adjusting from the batsman not to get caught into that trap. Saul into bowl. And it's a wild swing, and it goes over the head of the fielders on the leg side, and the ball just does not travel at all. And there's only 1 run there. This is quite phenomenal. The ball is just not going anywhere, and the batsmen are not getting rewards for their shots. How is anyone going to score us getting anything over 100 on this sort of pitch? Saul into bowl. Oh! Real kick off the pitch. He had to make sure that he had to make a decision either to get his hands down or to get them up. Either to let the ball alone or to get over on top of the ball, and he decided to get on top of the ball and keep it to ground. So the batsmen are being tested currently by this excellent bowling from Saul. Comes into bowl, and it's an inside. Is it an inside edge, or it just hits the pad? I think it was too high for it to be an LBW, so no one bothered appealing, but it hit the pad. Very, very testing times right now. Comes into bowl. Oh, what a ball! A nice in-swinging Yorker, aiming for the toes and having to quickly adjust to make sure that his front foot did not get caught in front and shifted to get the bat to clamp down on it. Another great piece of bowling there from Saul. He is going great. Comes into bowl. And a goal, another defensive shot there. It's 27 for 1. Jackson Elzink to continue to bowl from the river end. And they've decided, yep, they're adjusting the field to make sure that they've got the attacking fielder. No, wait, no attacking fielders now. Now there's a third fielder on the leg side, saving 1. Just 3 attacking. Comes into bowl. And it's an aggressive shot. And it's over the head of the square leg fielder. They go for one, they're going to go for two. Is there a third on the arm? Got to be a third on the arm. And they do go for the third on the arm. So, that batsman, he's playing a shot, his technique of slogging is not the way that is usually recommended, because he's not planting his feet firmly in the ground and launching it through his body weight. Instead he's using his arms mostly for the shot. Comes into bowl and left alone. So he's in his usual standing position. He'll step towards the ball in a sort of normal way to play a shot, and then he'll swing aggressively across the line of the ball and send the ball high into the air through just his arm movements. It's an unusual technique. He must have very good and left alone again outside the off stump. He must have very good, strong arms, forearms, to be able to play the shot like that. This is the 10th over. Comes into bowl, left alone. Elsing into bowl, and again left alone. It's difficult to say what a good total on this pitch would be, on this ground. Right now, comes into bowl, and aggressively hit, and it goes over the head of the fielders, and the fielder at mid-wicket and mid-on are chasing it down, and they get two there. Alright, we'll discuss this a bit later on after the break. It's 32 for 1.